Hey Seed Hunters, here are the top 50 best seeds found this year in Minecraft. Starting with the seed that spawns you inside of the biggest mountain dome ever found. The snowy mountain walls completely surround a giant flat meadow. Look how much room you have for building. You could fit an entire kingdom in here. It's a spawn you'll never want to leave. There are animals roaming the meadows, streams flowing through the forested slopes, and even some caves to explore too. Just imagine what this spawn is going to look like once you've filled it with all of your creative ideas. Up next is a seed that spawns us on top of a woodland mansion, but that's not even the best part. The mansion has been built next to the entrance of a cave where you can find a bravely positioned house that sits in a large dripstone cavern alongside the rest of the mansion. Use this as your starter house and then head off exploring the amazing lush caves. There are some great places for building around spawn too. There are dark oak valleys, bamboo rivers, and even a second mansion only 700 blocks away. This seed gave us the perfect start to the Trails and Tales update, spawning us in the biggest cherry grove biome ever found. This pink forest stretches over 2,000 blocks and you spawn right in the middle of it. In every direction that you turn, you're greeted with falling petals, fragrant life and beautiful places to build. Standing on the treetops is like floating above a sea of pink trees. It's just cherry blossom as far as the eye can see. As well as the biggest, we've also found a lot of the tallest this year. This seed spawns you on top of the tallest survival island ever found. Imagine trying to survive up here above the clouds with all your friends. The vertical terrain will provide a challenge, but the ocean views from the top are definitely worth it. Whether you decide to build a cabin at the very top or turn the whole thing into a giant ocean tower, you're sure to have a survival island experience like you've never had before. We've also found a lot of insane structure combinations this year, but this one was one of the craziest. It's a 5 structure combo that combines a pillager outpost, a desert temple, a village, a shipwreck, and a ruined portal. And what's even better, it's right at spawn. This structure cluster also sits on a colourful combination of biomes, giving you desert, badlands, jungle, and coral reef. It's the perfect start for looting and exploring. A bunch of completed 12-eye portal seeds were found this year too, and this one might be the best. It's relatively close to spawn and gives you a super easy route to the end dimension, but it's also found in a stunning location, which makes this one even better. Rise up through the dripstone caverns and you'll find that the stronghold has generated below a plains village inside of a cherry grove and sunflower-filled crater. The combination of a village, a completed end portal, and a beautiful spot for building makes this one of the best locations found this year in Minecraft. 2023 was also a year for crazy sinkhole seeds, so I've included a few that I think were the most mind-blowing. This one was found in the middle of a huge badlands lake where a village can be found floating above an ocean monument, completely defying the laws of physics. There are also houses hidden by the waterfalls, parts of the village high up in the sky, and even part of the village hidden below the monument. It's an unexplainable village seed that you have to check out for yourself. This seed had one of my favourite build locations of the year. It's a huge meadow island full of flowers, bees, and even a giant ruined portal. It's almost entirely surrounded by a river and cherry grove in all directions, giving you incredible vantage points from wherever you stand on the meadow. The only exit from this location is through a thin strip of flower forest that runs perfectly through 2 cherry grove hills. It's the perfect natural pathway that would lead up to whatever you decide to build here. This seed also has a lot of building potential, but the structures take it to another level. You spawn directly on top of a mansion, facing a village that climbs up a dark oak hill. The village is so close to the mansion that you can almost jump from this church to the mansion roof, and the village's path even leads you perfectly to the mansion entrance, making it seem like these structures were meant to coexist. You can find the rest of the village in a really peaceful location on top of the meadow. There are amazing views of the forest, river valleys, and a large meadow crater that's ready for you to stamp your creativity on this amazing spawn. This seed begins your adventure inside of one of Minecraft's most beautiful mountain domes. This ginormous enclosed mountain spawn is full of flat, spacious plains and cherry forest, giving you incredible building potential as soon as you start your game. Plan your build from high up on the snowy peaks, or even explore the structures before you get started. Around the slopes, you can find a basement igloo, a ruined portal, and a village. You could use these structures as the starting point for your protected cherry grove town. Up next is one of the most unbelievable villages found this year. It's generated perfectly on the edge of these snowy mountain cliffs. It's like this segment of terrain has extended out into the ocean especially for the village. The clifftop houses and frozen ocean houses below are separated by an epic multi-tiered lush cave. You can find the villagers farming inside the cave and even villagers stuck inside the icebergs. Maybe you could build a base in the bottom layer that extends up through the caves all the way to the houses at the top. If bamboo and badlands are your vibe, this is the perfect seed for you. You spawn right at the edge of a deep lake that is perfectly shaped as a love heart. The lake is surrounded by jungle and badlands, giving you a great place to test your building skills in a warmer climate. There's plenty of building potential over the lake's walls too. There are open flat badlands, structure-filled deserts, and a spacious, sparse jungle. There are loads of temples and portals to check out too. It's a perfect warm biome spawn seed. Welcome to Minecraft's most beautiful Cherry Lake spawn. This giant lake is surrounded by sunflowers and steep cherry grove hills. It's a perfect spawn for a long-term survival base, but you won't be alone in this stunning location as there's a double blacksmith village on top of the cherry walls. With incredible views of the lake, these villagers couldn't have picked a better place to build. You could join these villagers and share this amazing view. Build next to the lake in the sunflower fields, or even build outside of the cherry crater. You'll be spoilt for choice with this seed. Up next is the most breathtaking windswept terrain spawn ever. You start your adventure facing this mesmerizing windswept forest that's sure to leave you speechless. The terrain is full of floating islands, waterfall-filled caverns, and cloud-piercing trees, giving you an exciting build location that will fill you with inspiration. Just imagine crafting multiple builds throughout this terrain and connecting them all with bridges. You could have the most epic windswept town in Minecraft. This seed has a truly remarkable combination of structures not too far away from spawn. You can find the structures in the middle of a lake surrounded by meadows and mountains. You'd never expect to find something so crazy somewhere so beautiful. There's a pillager outpost inside of a mansion, a village with destroyed houses, an ocean monument directly under the mansion, and even a stronghold if you can manage to swim even deeper. You won't find a Minecraft seed with this amount of structures in a more beautiful location. This seed spawns you next to an amazing village right in the center of a cherry grove tree mountain crater. The village comes with 5 blacksmiths, so your inventory will be stacked as soon as your adventure begins. Just keep an eye out on that outpost that's watching over the village. If you want even more loot, this spawn has even more for you. Dig down under the village and you'll drop into an ancient city which also has a huge lava lake with a mineshaft. If you want a get rich quick seed, give this one a try. In amongst all the rare structure seeds found this year, we also took time to appreciate many of Minecraft's simpler seeds which can be just as amazing. This seed spawned us close to a perfectly circular mixed forest island surrounded by a river. Build your base right in the center and craft bridges around the island to allow you to easily cross the river when you're ready to explore. In Minecraft's infinitely generating world, it can be hard to choose where to live, but this seed makes that decision very easy. It's like this small segment of isolated island has generated especially for you. Village seeds went to another level this year with the discovery of a few double village spawns. This one spawns you next to 2 villages super close together inside of a peaceful mixed forest mountain crater. You'll never find a seed with 2 villages this close together in a more chilled location. It's the perfect opportunity to build yourself one big mountain city with double the amount of villagers. There's loads more to see around the mountains too, including large forest, mountain valleys, and even another village nestled into the side of a cherry grove. This seed spawns you next to a chill meadow village that gets a lot more exciting when you look down into the cave. Inside of this exposed dripstone cave, you can find more parts of the village, a woodland mansion with an epic lava-lit entrance, and a giant ruined portal deeper into the cave. Head past the portal and you'll find loads more spacious caverns to explore, and there's loads more to check out above ground too. Right next to these structures, you can also find a stunning multi-forest valley, and even a double dungeon inside of a mineshaft not too far away. One of the rarest biomes in Minecraft is the mushroom fields, and this seed has the biggest mushroom field ever found, with over 5.4 million blocks of mycelium. It's the biggest hostile mob-free zone in Minecraft, so if you ever need a break from the dangers of night, this is the place to come. Although this one is the biggest, we've got an even better mushroom field coming up later in the video that's surrounded by every biome in the game. It takes a special seed to make traveling 6,000 blocks worth your while, but this seed has a destination that is definitely worth a trip. Welcome to Minecraft's biggest open-air lush cave. It's so big that it probably takes more time to explore than the time it will take you to get here. It's got a beautiful lush overhang, a vibrant floor full of life, and even a hanging mine shaft. There's even a mansion right next to it for you to move into, so you can always have this spectacular cave right on your doorstep. This seed spawns you on the edge of Minecraft's most beautiful mountain lake. In the middle of the lake, you can find a village with the most amazing backdrop that any villager has ever had. The mountain forms in a circular formation and has cherry forests on the outskirts. It's truly one of the most stunning village spawns found this year. Climb up the slopes, and there's a perfect spot to build a base to watch over the village, and there's also some exposed caves that can lead you all the way down into the deep dark. Now let's take a look at the best Badlands seed found this year. You'll step foot into an unbelievable Badlands mountain range that extends all the way from a small lake at the bottom all the way up to Minecraft's max height limit. From the very top, you can appreciate some really incredible views. There's loads of exposed caves around the peaks too, giving you the perfect opportunity to build a base and live high above the clouds. It's the most amazing Badlands mountain ever found in Minecraft. Up next is one of the best island spawns in Minecraft because it's packed with rare structures. All on your starter island, you've got a woodland mansion, a village, and a giant ruin portal, with your own luxurious home ready to move into, a bunch of villagers to hang out with, and a whole other dimension to explore. This could be the best island you could ever spawn on. As well as 3 different structures, your island also comes with 4 different wood types. You'll never get bored of this island. From the best structure-filled island spawn to the best structure-filled snow spawn, this seed begins your adventure in an ice spikes biome right next to 4 structures that almost form a perfect square. There's a pillager outpost with a bunch of allays, a fully intact shipwreck ready to loot or move into, a village to trade with, and a giant ruin portal that provides a getaway to a very exciting nether. Hop through the portal and you'll find yourself directly above a nether fortress with a double blaze spawner. For those who love dark oak forests, 2023 brought us the best dark oak forest seed ever. You spawn by an X-shaped river intersection. Imagine building 4 treetop villages connected by suspended walkways that cross the rivers. Hop across the river and you'll find a beautiful large lake surrounded by dark forest hills. If you were to build your base around these cliffs or even in the exposed lush caves, you'll have one of the best lake views in the game. Minecraft is all about making memories with your friends, and this seed has given our Discord community the funnest multiplayer experience ever. We spawned in a super deep mountain dome with the most incredible views. One half is Badlands and the other half is Stony Peaks, and right in the middle is a large flat area of mixed forest that's perfect for building. Look how much we've transformed this place in only a couple of weeks. We've built an entire town inside of the dome where everyone has their own unique home. We've got 4 tunnels that help us easily leave the crater to explore, loads of farms and resources of all kinds, a villager trading hall, and even a Christmas tree with loads of free goodies. If you need a seed for a bunch of friends, we highly recommend this one. If you're down for a challenge of extreme difficulty, this seed was found with the hardest to complete end portal ever. The end portal room has been collided with an ocean monument, so you'll have to somehow dig the portal out with mining fatigue while battling guardians at the same time. I'm sure someone watching this is crazy enough to beat this seed. Just be thankful that you didn't run into this in your latest random seed speedrun attempt. Here's a seed with an amazing jungle lake village at spawn with the most unbelievable surprise feature. Head to the village in the middle of the lake and you'll notice a sinkhole under the village and also a shipwreck floating on the lake too. But the best feature is floating high in the sky. Look up towards the clouds and you'll spot a sky island that somehow contains some of the village's paths. You get so many amazing views from up here. It's the perfect seed if you ever dreamt of your sky base for your survival world. Up next is a seed that spawns you next to a super rare biome combination. It's a small section of ice spikes that are almost entirely surrounded by cherry grove. The pink petals and light blue ice just go together so well. The only part not surrounded by cherry grove leads you through a winding meadow valley with loads more beautiful building locations. Just imagine a snow globe city surrounded by cherry forest with a gate that leads you out through the valley to all of your other builds. If simplicity is what you're looking for, you won't find any better than this seed. It's the perfect one-tree survival island. With a tiny mound of dirt, ocean as far as the eye can see, and one singular tree, it doesn't get any simpler than this. This seed provides you with possibly the chillest survival experience you could ever have. Just relax under your tree and do some fishing. Cook your fish on a campfire while you watch the waves and the stars. What more could you want? Check out this mouth-watering seed that spawns you on a cherry grove donut surrounded by a river. You'll find 2 layers of cherry grove and a small lake right in the middle. It's the perfect place to build a cozy circular town that's showered by falling petals. The way the donut is separated from the rest of the terrain makes it really stand out. The fact that this amazing terrain is right at spawn makes this a seed you have to try. This seed spawns you on a village island in the middle of the ocean with no houses. It's one of the biggest island mysteries found this year in Minecraft. Who would set up farms in the middle of the ocean and then just abandon them? Whatever the story is here, it's all yours now. It's just you, your crops, and your single island tree. It's the perfect starting point for your lone island farming experience. This is the most incredible Badlands Island seed ever found. You spawn in a wooded badlands high above the ocean with views all around of one of the biggest coral reefs you will ever see. Drop down into the core of your hollow island and you'll enter an amazing lush cave. It's not often you spawn on a survival island with two amazing sections to survive in. Build all of your farms on the top and then build an epic lush cave base below where you can look out over the ocean. We are always on the lookout for survival islands that come with shipwrecks. This year, we finally found an island spawn with not one, but two beached shipwrecks. It's the perfect survival island spawn for two friends. This tropical island comes with some jungle trees, exotic wildlife, and even some bamboo. To top it off, there's a really good-sized beach as well as some coastal armor trims, so you can represent your island in style. This woodland mansion spawn seed is out of this world. Not only is it overlooked by a peaceful meadow village, but is also combined with a giant ruined portal that has destroyed the mansion's roof. Just make sure you get here quickly before the entire mansion burns down. Rise above these amazing structures, and you'll see that this seed is a great all-round survival seed too. With ice spikes in one direction and badlands in the other, it looks like a great variety of biomes to be found around spawn. This seed spawns you in a virtual paradise. It's the ultimate spawn for building. You awaken inside of a gigantic mountain dome with the flattest meadow center you'll ever find. There's so much space to build in here. It's a perfect blank canvas for your Minecraft builds. With such a spacious open area inside of these mountains, there's no limit to what you could build in here. If you've ever dreamt of chilling in a warm and luxurious mansion while you watch the snowfall, this is the perfect seed for you. This year, a woodland mansion was discovered in a snowy biome for the first time in 1.20. If you love watching Minecraft snowfall as much as me, this is the perfect home to do it from. There are snowy foxes running across your roof and even some villagers for you to hang out with too. A short distance away, you can also find a shipwreck, a village with an exposed lush cave, and another village on the edge of a snowy crater. Here's one of the more incredible sinkhole seeds found this year. At the bottom, you've got a rare jungle village, houses hidden behind waterfalls, and a terrifying drop down to the lava below. What you can find at the very top is even more unbelievable. Rise up the crashing waterfalls, and you'll come across an upside-down levitating shipwreck. This could be one of the most unique sky bases you could ever have, and whenever you want to go out and explore, you just get to enjoy this insanely fun jump down to the village below. This seed spawns you in a double cherry grove village crater. The odds of coming across two villages this close together are low enough, so to have them right at spawn inside of a cherry crater makes this one of the best village seeds ever. It's a truly remarkable seed that gives you a perfect opportunity to build one huge cherry city right at spawn. This seed is extremely hard to beat, but there's still 10 amazing seeds coming up that you have to see. This is the most jaw-dropping ice spike spawn in Minecraft. Imagine building your base under this frozen overhang where you'll be protected by giant ice pillars that rise all the way up to the clouds. There's no better place to build yourself a frozen base. Climb to the very top and you'll see that the ice spikes guide you to even more incredible terrain. If you want a snowy seed that's going to ignite your imagination, you need to give this one a try. This seed contains the longest cherry grove valley in Minecraft, a remarkable piece of terrain that has generated over 2 million views this year. It's the ultimate cherry grove experience that you can find right at spawn. When you're down inside the valley, it feels like it stretches forever. You could fit so many builds in here, and you could even build a large community with all of your friends. Whatever you decide to build down here, you've got the benefit of being constantly showered by cherry petals. Welcome to the craziest village island ever found. This unbelievable chunk of steep frozen terrain is home to a village, a pillager outpost, and a fully exposed basement igloo. It's not often that you get access to underground structures as easily as this. The igloo even goes right through one of the houses, so you've got a second entrance down to the basement, which is helpful because the pillagers are guarding the entrance at the top, as well as one of the houses. There are also some villagers stuck in the ice, so you've got plenty of rescuing to do. The next spawn is a builder's dream. It's one of the biggest craters you can spawn in, and it's entirely surrounded by cherry grove and ice spikes. With this huge spacious plain surrounded by rare biomes, there's an insane amount of building potential right here at spawn. You won't truly appreciate how much space there is until you try this one for yourself, and there's loads to do in here too. There are villagers to trade with, pumpkins to pick, and loads of exposed caves to explore. What could you imagine filling this space with? This is Minecraft's most perfect village survival island spawn. With this seed, it's like the game has given you your very own personal heaven right in the middle of the ocean. The tiny ocean village has generated with no villagers, so you've got this all to yourself. You've got your own house ready-made to move into, your own iron golem, a singular tree to get you started with building materials, and even your own farm that's already set up. If you ever wanted a seed to just chill on, this is the one to play. This seed spawns you in front of one of the most jaw-dropping mountains you'll ever see. The mountain has an unmissable entrance into a huge dripstone cave that takes up the entirety of the mountain. It's got the most epic cave entrance ever, and if you adventure even deeper, you're bound to get lost in this never-ending cave system. To make this cave entrance even more remarkable, there's a plains village that climbs up the slope with a singular house which has made it all the way to the peak of the mountain. Let's take another look at Minecraft's most breathtaking island cave. I never get tired of exploring this one. You spawn on a large, snowy island surrounded by frozen ocean. After surviving here for a while, you'll soon realize that there's a whole other realm to explore beneath the snow. A giant lush cavern with the most impressive cave entrance you've ever seen. If there was ever a spawn for building an epic lush cave base, it's this one. It's the best lush cave found this year, and maybe even of all time. This seed is home to the largest lake-filled meadow crater ever found. It's truly one of Minecraft's natural wonders that has formed thanks to two giant lakes merging together. Whether you decide to build around the lake or go on top of the meadow walls, you can be sure that you're building in a location like no other. It's hard to explain how amazing the views of this lake are. In Minecraft's infinite universe, it's difficult to find terrain as unique as this. This is Minecraft's most insane structure spawn. There's a village, a woodland mansion, a pillager outpost with an alley trapped in a house, and even a shipwreck down by the shore. And that's just what you can see above the surface. There's still so much more to uncover down below the mansion. Jump on down into the opening by the mansion and you'll find 3 houses that have generated deeper down in the cave. Sitting below a mansion and just blocks above a lush cavern is certainly an unexpected place to find parts of a village. Drop down even further to find that the mansion's cobblestone points you directly to an ancient city that is exposed to the surface. Before we get to the final and best seed of the year, there are 18 more seeds that I feel deserve an honourable mention, but don't worry, we're going to rapid fire through these. This seed was Minecraft's answer to a tabletop mountain, and look how flat that summit is. This seed spawns you on a jungle temple and ruined portal combination in the middle of the ocean. This seed has the tallest double structure combination ever found. It's got a long outpost on top of a long desert temple. This seed has the most epic exposed dripstone cave. Imagine building a base in here. This seed has a house inside of a desert temple where the door leads you perfectly into the treasure room, and the treasure room itself leads you perfectly down to a stronghold. This seed has a woodland mansion, a floating jungle village, an ocean monument, a ruined portal, and even some trail ruins, all at spawn. This seed has a giant sinkhole in the middle of a giant frozen lake. It's one of the few places where you can find snow falling into lava. On the edge of the sinkhole, you can find a village, some trail ruins, and even a trial chamber in the new update. This seed spawns you on a sparse jungle survival island which has formed in a perfect circle. This seed has a village and an outpost next to a badland sinkhole. At the very bottom of the sinkhole, you can find a secret hidden desert temple. This frozen ocean island village has been taken over by ocean ruins. You'll have plenty of suspicious gravel to brush up on this one. In this village spawn seed, you can walk through a house directly into a jungle temple. This seed has a village inside of a cherry growth donut. Could this be the most peaceful village in Minecraft? This seed spawns you next to a ginormous lake with an equally huge sinkhole right in the middle of it. Right on the edge of the lake, you can also find loads of cool structures. This seed has a mountain surrounded by more mountains and a perfect route out to the sea. It's the perfect location to build a jungle kingdom. This seed has a cherry grove biome perfectly shaped as a love heart. This seed has a beautiful mountain range right at spawn, and the cave entrance right at your feet leads you into a breathtaking lush cave. This seed has an insane village valley where an outpost sits on top of a jungle temple high above the ground. There's also some interesting caves here too. And this is the most amazing bamboo lake you could ever build around. The final seed has a large mushroom field just off the coast from spawn, and surrounding that mushroom field, you can find every overworld biome in the game. If you want a long-term survival world full of variety with an epic world center point, this is the perfect seed. Around the island you will see plains, forests, swamps, savanna, desert, badlands, jungle, cherry grove, taiga, mountains and snow. Everything you could wish for can be found circling your world center mushroom island. Those were my favourite seeds of the year. Which was your favourite seed in 2023? Let us know which you've been playing on the most in the comments, and if you want to check out even more amazing seeds, go check out last year's video, because all the seeds still work.